Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good tonight. We've got a couple of topics to discuss, some that I've already talked about where there's updates or brand new topics that I plan to cover, some things that just broke today. Lots of interesting situations going on in the world of entertainment and video games. I mean, is it ever a dull time? Let's be honest. There's always something going on. Whether it's game companies being accused of doing terrible things, executives and producers telling fans they should just shut the hell up and accept products they're getting, or in some cases, people that are game journalists deciding to say, oh, women should only look one way because that's more realistic. It's always fun times. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Black Widow. Now, I've talked about Black Widow a couple of times now on the channel between videos and in live streams, but Black Widow is now Marvel's worst performing movie, and people are really just upset with Black Widow. Not only the content that is in Black Widow, initially a lot of people were really unimpressed with the movie itself, but also with the way that Disney's acted, and the way that people at Marvel have acted now that Scarlett Johansson has announced she is going to be suing Disney for breach of contract. If you don't know about that, I did cover that in a video, but it's been a really big situation, surprisingly. I thought when she announced she was going to be suing Disney, it would, like, be, you know, the talk of the town for a day or two, and then it would just kind of fade away, because usually when situations like this happen, the company doesn't want to deal with a giant Hollywood star, you know, talking shit about them, basically. But in this case, Disney's been very vocal when it comes to Scarlett Johansson, and everyone's kind of had their 2 cents, you know, fellow actors in the MCU have had their 2 cents to input. People at the company have said, oh, I'm so disappointed with the way other people have acted. And then the companies released statements basically saying, screw her, she got money. It's been a definitely interesting situation. I'm going to be talking about an article that actually recently came out just a couple of days ago that, let's be honest, guys, isn't very surprising. I talk about game journalists attacking women all the time and attacking fictional characters in video games. There are people out there who think attractive or think that video game characters can't be attractive, or they can't be stereotypically feminine. They can't be sexy but also strong at the same time, which I think is an absolutely ridiculous thing to say. But there was recently an article put out that says female video game characters redesigned with realistic bodies, which I think is hilarious, because if you're looking at a Scarlett Johansson or an Angelina Jolie, you're telling me their bodies aren't realistic? Yeah. Are most women looking like them? No. But I mean, they're real people. Unless I've missed some critical information, they're real women. They're not, you know, they're not fake. They actually have those bodies. So basically, this article decided to take a bunch of very notable characters, iconic characters like Jade from Mortal Kombat, Widowmaker from Overwatch, and say, here, guys, I have edited these photos to make these characters look more realistic, and all they did was make them look fat. All they did was give them thunder thighs, a beer belly, and in some cases, stretch marks, because apparently that makes a world of difference, okay? I'm also going to be talking about He-Man. He-Man's been a very popular topic. I've made a bunch of videos on He-Man. I was really disappointed with the He-Man, you know, whole situation, and I even made a video on He-Man today. But I wanted to read this article that just came out, and it says, He-Man fans reject Kevin Smith in Masters of the Universe Revelation, which isn't that surprising. A lot of people were expecting a lot when it came to Revelation. A lot of people were just expecting Netflix and Kevin Smith to do good and do right by the franchise. I personally really didn't. You know, to an extent, everyone has hope that these companies aren't going to fuck up existing franchises, but while we're talking about Kevin Smith, a man that dresses like he's still 12 and hasn't hit puberty yet, and then goes around attacking fans for simply wanting a show to be about a male character. And I'm going to be talking about something that just broke a couple of hours ago, which is Blizzard's president, J. Allen Brack, has left the company. He is going to be replaced by a female now, which isn't, it's not that surprising because obviously they're going to point the finger at someone, and he was just the one that the finger got pointed at, so he's the one that has been fired, or he resigned. We all know how that goes. And that the situation with Blizzard, it does not seem like it is going to die anytime soon. What is dead may never die. There's a lot when it comes to the Blizzard situation, and I have been covering it on the channel quite a bit, but still, this is a pretty big new piece of information. So those are the topics we will be discussing. I will start on them in a couple minutes, but welcome everyone to the stream. I hope your evening is going well. Raj, thank you for becoming a Bronze Titan. Much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel. Now you have access to a fancy badge next to your name, and you also get some custom emotes that we have for the channel. If you guys weren't here last stream, I did finally activate memberships on the channel. There are some custom emotes, but thank you. Did they run out of Overwatch characters to make gay? Listen, I don't think doing that is gonna fix everything this time around. It's a little too past that. They're gonna have to make a whole new game at this rate, and all the characters be something new and different. I don't mind characters in video games being LGBT. I don't mind, but that's been Blizzard's go-to, is literally when they're caught up in a controversy, they do things like, oh, well, I bet you guys didn't know this about the character or that about the character. Which is, I'm not trying to sit here and say I like it, but it's worked for them. I mean, it actually has. I guess I give them props for that. If Kevin Smith was honest, see, the thing is that even if Kevin Smith was honest about what the show was going to be, people would still be upset because of the direction. If you didn't see today's video, apparently season 2 or part 2 is going to be about Evelyn, and we know Tila's still going to be a big part of it. Even if he had been honest from square one, people would still be upset, but I think the backlash would be a lot less intense. Because at least he wouldn't be running around saying, it's about He-Man, 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 when it actually isn't. It's a rough thing, because I would have given him more, I don't want to say, like, of a benefit of a doubt, but like, I would have respected him a little bit more if he had just said, it's about Tila, it's about these female characters, we wanted to go in a very different direction, He-Man will still be part of it, he will still be an important piece of the story, aka killing him, but at least I would have had a little bit more respect. Just be straight up with fans and say, we're going in a really bold, different direction, I'm sorry if you're not gonna like it, but he didn't, and well, we see where it's gotten him. Kevin Smith, huh? I've never been a huge fan of Kevin Smith. I mean, I don't think he's ever been, like, the worst person, but he became the thing that he always said he wasn't gonna become. Not surprising. But it is what it is. I mean, he did it. Congratulations, Kevin Smith. I hope you love the $5 you're gonna make off of Netflix in bonuses. But hello, guys. Considering Netflix is super woke, I'm thinking they paid Smith so many millions he would do anything and say anything to please them. I mean, to an extent, that happens with every company. I mean, look at something like Captain Marvel 2, which is now called The Marvels or whatever. They hired an unknown director. And they hired an unknown director for very smart reasons. They hired an unknown director because, first of all, they can handpick whoever they want and boost their career instantly. That person will go, oh my gosh, you're going to give me $10 million to this movie? Hell yes, I'll do it. This is quadruple anything I've ever gotten. So they're going to be grateful no matter what money you give them. And they're going to be able to be used as little tools. Because if a giant company like Disney is coming to you and saying, you've done one movie and it didn't even sell that well, we're going to give you $20 million to make a giant box office hit. And yeah, you have to like follow a couple of our guidelines. Most people are going to jump at that opportunity. And I'm not saying Kevin Smith was like an unknown or anything, but still, he clearly was someone that was okay with bending over backwards for a couple $1 million. It's the way companies work, though. Why pay someone like a James Cameron $40 million to do a movie when you could pay someone new $10 million to do the movie and they're not going to fight back with what you want as a company? When you have big directors, producers, writers, whoever, they know what they want their movie to be. So if a company like Disney wants something completely different, they're going to be giving someone a ton of money for them to do a movie where everyone's going to be butting heads all the time. It's just the way it goes. It's the way that Hollywood works. I don't like that. I'm not saying that's okay or I support that, but it's a fact. Thank you for thank you so much, Kat, for becoming a Bronze Titan. Welcome to the Dark Titans. Thank you. Much appreciated. Money talks, bullshit walks. You are right. That's just the way it goes. For some reason, YouTube keeps buffering. YouTube can be really wonky. All I can suggest is close the stream for like 2 minutes and then reopen the stream. Also check videos, see if it's just live streams. I don't see any errors on my end. So, yeah. I don't know what I can do. Can we take a moment to admire the new Venom 2 trailer? Ooh. Yeah. Listen, Kat. Thank you for becoming a Dark Titan. I really appreciate it, but listen. I'm not that impressed. Sorry. I don't know what it is. But Venom 2, for me, I do not know why. My excitement for it is just... Where is it? Because I keep hearing things about Venom 2. And the first Venom was good, don't get me wrong. For Venom 2, I'm like... Anything else? Do you have any other critical information that I'm lacking to tell me? I'm not in it to win it right now. Maybe at some point, it'll be more exciting. I don't know. I feel lately, though, with trailers, I've been much less excited for things. Even Dune. Like, I really like Dune. I have always really liked Dune. But the new Dune movie, knowing that the new Dune movie is 2.5 hours, and they're trying to tell the same exact story that was in other like, it doesn't make sense. How can you stick, like, you can't even stick, like, a sliver of information that you need to understand Dune into a 2-hour movie. You can't. You can't. Like, yeah, you could probably make a 3.5-hour movie, but sticking Dune into a 2-hour movie, I don't know. we'll have to see how much content, you know, they're really putting into the movie and how far they're going with it. We'll see. Venom 1 was good. It wasn't bad. Venom 2 right now, I'm just like, can I get something different? Can I get a side of fries with that? Because I'm just not that excited for it. Bob Chapek is likely going to get fired from Disney. It seems very likely, based off of what information? I don't think that it's very likely that Bob Chapek is going to get fired from Disney. He hasn't been... Well, he's been with Disney long, but, like, he only just got promoted to his position, like, a year and a half ago. I heard the new Dune movie is supposed to be a two-parter. So I guess that's a good point. Is that we've heard that the new Dune movie is supposed to be, like, 2 parts, but we've also heard it's supposed to be a trilogy, which makes no sense. Are you telling me they're trying to stick all the books into 3 movies, or 2 movies, or are they only doing, like, the first book in 1 movie? I feel like with the new Dune, I feel like there's such a lack of information. Like, yeah, we've gotten a trailer, we've gotten character posters. What's the story gonna be, though? Like, is it gonna be 1 book? Is it gonna be 4 books? Is it gonna be 2 books? Is it supposed to be, like, David Lynch? Is it supposed to be, like, what is it supposed to follow, though? We know Aquaman is in it. We know that Soy Boy Timothée Chalamet is in it. And we know, what's her name is in it. I don't even remember her name. Spidey's GF. We know she's in it. I actually think that, what's that guy's name? What's his name? Oscar Isaac, that's his name. I actually think he looks pretty damn slick as Duke Leto, though. Like, actually looking pretty good. Everyone loves trilogies. I don't think a trilogy would be a bad idea. I just want them to tell us what it's gonna be. Anyway, guys, let's start with the first topic. A lot of these topics are gonna be kind of quick, just because I've talked about them in the past before, but there are some topics that I'd like to re-go over, like Black Widow. I've talked about Black Widow quite a bit here on the channel. A lot of people were really disappointed with the movie and its initial launch. It was one thing to make a Black Widow movie many years too late. And then it's also another thing to make a movie for a character we already know is dead, so this is the last time we're ever going to see her. And it's another thing to make a movie that is filled with feminist Me Too references, woman power references, filled to the brim with it, okay? But to no one's surprise, Black Widow has done relatively good. We're talking about a Marvel movie. I say this all the time, but Marvel movies will always do good to some extent. Marvel could release a 2-hour movie that's a black screen with, like, fireworks, and people would go and pay and see it. But, I wanted to read some of this Cosmic Book News article. So it says, Black Widow is now Marvel's worst performing movie. It had a giant week 2 drop-off and a giant week 3 drop-off, which eventually it's inevitable that movies, the views are going to drop. People are going to view it less and less. Like, most people will go to the theater and see a movie once, maybe twice. Plus, it's on Disney Plus and you can rent it that way. But there comes a point when you say, okay, the numbers have dropped like a rock way too quickly, and after only 1 week, it dropping by like 60% is nuts. So it says Black Widow is now Marvel's worst performing movie, as with the 4th weekend release, the flick trailing behind the 2015 Ant-Man movie. You know, maybe a little bit of a hot take, because I feel like Ant-Man's very hit or miss for people. I actually really liked the original Ant-Man movie. I actually did. Maybe a little bit of a hot take, I don't know. It says Black Widow has had the lowest 4th weekend for a Disney-released Marvel title ever at $6.4 million, while Ant-Man's fourth week was almost $8 million. I do want to point out that we are still, going through the end of the pandemic. People are still a little bit afraid to go places like theaters, but clearly people are showing up to theaters to see movies. I mean, Black Widow week 1 did pretty good. As this will say, Jungle Cruise did really good. There have been a lot of films that are doing good in theaters. So, I kind of, understand people passing off it, doing a little bit worse because of the pandemic, but at the same time, people are still showing up to see movies. It says Ant-Man finished with a $519 million worldwide gross. Black Widow currently sits at $343.5 million, in addition to another $60 million from Disney+. Just imagine those numbers if Ant-Man had released on something like a Disney+. Those numbers would be much higher. But it says Scarlett Johansson is now suing Disney over Disney Plus streaming's release, alleging the streaming release negatively impacted the theatrical box office, which Johansson is compensated for. I did talk about this in depth during a video, but this whole situation's been very, very messy because Scarlett Johansson did announce that she was suing Disney, and Disney could have taken that in a very, I guess I'll say, adult or appropriate way, and they really, really didn't. They got super salty that she was suing them, calling, the lawsuit disheartening and all these different things. And this company literally tried to say, we're going through a pandemic. We can't believe how greedy she is, basically. The same company that closed their parks as they stretched out closing those parks as long as they could, and they released them as soon as they could. Coming from little old Disney over here, I don't feel bad if Disney wins this, if they lose this and Scarlett Johansson wins it, but at the same time, I don't feel bad if it's the other way around. Scarlett Johansson has turned into kind of an SJW. She is someone who, did the marketing for Black Widow and loved the Black Widow film and was all about the woman power. And as a woman myself, I don't need a superhero movie to tell me I can be a strong, independent woman if I want to be. If I want to be a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, I don't fucking need Black Widow to tell me that, okay? Anyway, it says Jungle Cruise considers a success while Black Widow fails. Black Widow, I wouldn't say failed. It still did sell very well. There still are a lot of people that went and saw it. They still sold millions of tickets and made millions of dollars. But it says, what is rather hilarious is that with the release of Disney's Jungle Cruise, both in theaters and on Disney+, Deadline is spinning things as if Jungle Cruise is a big success while they previously spun it for Black Widow, in addition to blaming the pandemic for the low box office. From my own opinion and vantage point, the pandemic has nothing to do with fans not wanting to go to theaters. Case in point, 15,000 fans showed up for a recent Buffalo Bills practice, and that's a practice, not a game. It is true. The media likes to spin things the best they can. So if a movie like Black Widow that's supposed to do good doesn't do good, they basically just say, oh my goodness, it's the pandemic, people are still afraid, people don't want to show up. But when a film does very good, they say, oh, of course things are doing good because this movie's great and amazing and awesome and people are dying to go back to theaters. I mean, the media tries to spin things in any way they can. Not surprising, coming from Hollywood shills. But it says, getting back to Deadline, we see how they spin things as their latest box office report spins things for Jungle Cruise in that its Saturday release was a success, as they didn't include the Thursday box office, but when the Thursday box office is added to Friday, the Saturday release for Jungle Cruise was down almost 10%. I personally haven't seen Jungle Cruise. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't really care about it. I'm not a huge fan of The Rock. Emily Blunt is an okay actress. that film just really didn't excite me at all. If you watched it and you liked it, good for you, congratulations. I personally didn't care. And Black Widow was a film that to a degree I didn't care about either, because I thought it's many years too late. I thought that it needed to be released years ago. I wish that the story went in a different direction. But we got the movie we got, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. It was a disappointment for me, but I'm curious to know what you guys thought about it. That's all that I really had to discuss with Black Widow. I'll move on to the next topic in just a minute, but Black Widow isn't doing as good as Disney probably thought that it was going to do. And that's probably another reason why they're so pissed off at Scarlett Johansson, is because they expected this film to do much better. And it's not doing much better. So they're probably salty that she wants more money, and she's not just kind of like accepting the fact that she's only getting $20 million. Oh, boo-hoo. Only $20 million. What a rough life, but still. Jungle Cruise is trash. Jungle Cruise is budget mummy ripoff. I saw it on Thursday. It was a fun summer blockbuster I've been looking forward to for over a year. Yeah, I personally wasn't that excited for it. Everyone's got their own opinions, though. If you were excited for it and you saw it and you liked it, good for you. Even when I don't like things, I don't tell people they shouldn't like them. Didn't you also didn't like Captain Marvel? Question mark. I saw Captain Marvel. I was not a fan of it. I didn't think the story was the worst. It was the dialogue that was bad. The CGI was okay. The acting was bad. The general message they basically tried to go with, for me, was really garbage. Disappointing. Not impressed. 0 out of 10. I thought the CGI was good, though. I thought it could have been much better. Jungle Cruise is for kids and family outings. I only saw it because I was taking a disabled man to the movies, so for work. Gotcha. Well, I don't think that I don't think there are no people that were excited for it, because clearly people get excited for things all the time. Like, it's Disney. Again, every movie that Disney releases is gonna sell. But for me, I didn't see any hype behind it. I didn't really care about it. I'd rather Scarlett Johansson get those millions than the greedy, soulless Disney suits. I mean, yeah, guys, it's really rough for Scarlett Johansson. We definitely don't want Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company, winning. We definitely want Scarlett Johansson, the highest paid actress in Hollywood and like one of the top 3 highest paid actresses in the world, to lose out on $20 million extra dollars. I'm not taking any shots or anything. Yeah, I mean, there's a contract, so she should get the money. I don't feel bad for whoever's the winner and whoever's the loser here. But she did have a contract, and that should be upheld. Captain Marvel, yeah, it was, again, I think the base story wasn't bad, but when you get into the fine details, it's not good. Like, you get into the acting, just the dialogue, the references, the strong woman power messaging. It's just not good. But if you look at just the base story, it's not bad. But you really have to look for that base story. Captain Marvel. Who liked Captain Marvel? Come on, guys. You can tell us. I know everyone loves Brie Larson. I know she's your favorite by far. Alright, guys. So let's move on to the next topic of the evening. Now, I'm not going to talk about this topic too much because I will be doing a video on it. I want to leave a little bit of it up for the video, but it's always funny to me when I have to talk about topics just like this, because many years ago, feels like forever ago now, people used to go, woman power means women should be able to dress the way they want, look the way they want, do what they want. But now women power is women can be, how do I say this in a nice way? Now, to the same people that used to be about, you know, women can dress the way they want, look the way they want, is women should be covered up. Because if a woman shows cleavage, that's not realistic. Which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And one thing that we see attacked all the time are video game characters. Fictional characters, may I add, not real people. But we always see fictional women attacked because they're dressed in a certain way. They might have cleavage, they might be wearing, you know, a short skirt, they might be wearing something that's skin tight. And apparently, to game journalists, that's not okay. So I wanted to show off this article that was recently put up. I'm using an archive because I am not supporting this website. That talks about female video game characters redesigned with realistic bodies, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Because a lot of women don't have the most toned, you know, extremely, you know, attractive body types. They have the biggest boobs or the tiniest waists. But women like Scarlett Johansson and Angelina Jolie do in fact exist. Those are in fact women. Not fictional women, real women. So when I see articles like this being written about realistic bodies, it's very cringe. And I hate to use the word cringe, but it's very cringe. Because we're talking about fictional characters that don't even look unrealistic. Instead of game journalists going after characters that, I don't know, just have green skin or tails or something like that. No, they're going after the characters that actually look like real people because they say these don't look like real people. Which is super fucking ridiculous. And as you're gonna see, the examples that they use, in a lot of cases, are characters that look like real women. Now, do real women, you know, walk around in little witch outfits? Not normally, okay? But you could. So this is from onlinegambling.ca. Have I heard of you? No. It says female video game characters redesigned with realistic bodies, and the way that they redesign, quote unquote, these characters is fucking hilarious because they just make them look fat and ugly. I'm sorry, but it's so true. Instead of, like, I don't know, creating an alternate outfit for them and saying, hey, you know, this outfit could be worn on multiple different body types. Or something that doesn't sound so fucking stupid. They're calling realistic body types just fat, basically. So it says, imagine a world where video game characters were real. There would be some downright monstrosities walking among us. But about the female characters, unrealistic body representations for women is nothing new in the world of video gaming. But what would some of our female leads look like if they were more realistic or existed in the real world? Let's take a look. A real twist on video game characters. Oh, for the actual fuck. When I saw this, I just I lost a brain cell or two. Okay? These are the types of articles that game journalists are writing. Listen, guys. I'm not I'm not trying to dunk on this this journalist too much, okay? But wow. You truly have to be gifted to see a problem with this, okay? Many leading female protagonists within video games resemble similar personality traits. Strong-willed, witty, clever, robust, and some impressive breastplates. But what if these female characters took a more natural approach? What if Sylvanas had some stronger hips to help carry such heavy armor? Or if League of Legends Leona's porcelain skin was actually a battle-worn canvas in need of some TLC? So let's click Rain first, okay? I can't. I can't. This is realism, guys. This is... This is realism, boys. Ah, yes. Realism at its finest. What the? Oh, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. What is that? What is that? Okay. As you can see, I don't think I need to tell you which is the unrealistic side and which is the realistic side. Guys, most of these designs, the only villains these characters would be fighting would be the fucking Cookie Monster. It says, what's changed? Her uncanny resemblance to Mila Jovovich, they didn't even spell her name right, leaves some thought that her character could be realistic, but again, her tiny figure, large breasts, and the strength to simultaneously carry twin-arm blades isn't really standard. So that's what they're saying is realistic here with Rain, okay? Hey guys, I'm gonna show you all an image of a totally not real person, okay? This person, they can't be real, okay? Because clearly the left version, the left side, is the not real or not realistic character, right? We all understand that, right? Okay, good, good, good. That can't be a real person, guys. Wow. That can't be a real person. Am I right? Because that is unrealistic. Wow, that's unrealistic, guys. A woman surely could not look like the image on the left. Or the right. Very unrealistic. What do we want to go to next? This is so bad. Let's go to Misfortune, okay? League of Legends. It says League of Legends Misfortune is a fun character both in design and gameplay. Fuck no, she's not. Following the plot of revenge, she is feared for her mercilessness, and despite her seemingly charming demeanor, there's no lack of blood on her hands. Ah, yes. The left is unrealistic, chat, but the right, that's realistic. They added, so basically what they did is they made her much larger. Okay, they got rid of any feminine features, like, I don't know, her hips. They added stretch marks, which stretch marks could be added to more characters. But we're talking about fiction here, okay? Does it matter if a character has smooth baby skin or if she has a couple stretch marks? In my opinion, no, it doesn't. They also added hair to her stomach, which, again, thanks for making it realistic, guys. I appreciate it. That's definitely interesting. Basically, again, All they did was make her fat and add a couple of various designs. Not much is different, besides the fact that she's a beluga whale now. Okay? But again, clearly, guys. Clearly. Okay? The character on the left is very unrealistic, right? Like, very unrealistic. Hold on one second. I'm trying to bring up this image. Oh no, it's marked on Reddit as NSFW. Maybe I shouldn't share it. Banned. Great, thanks guys for getting me banned. Clearly the image on the left was very unrealistic, am I right, chat? Because a woman couldn't actually look like that, right? Like, yeah, the image on the left, very unrealistic. Like, this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Sexy, in this journalist's opinion, means not realistic, which I think is disgusting. While, yes, there are women who are larger. There are women that don't have tiny flat bellies. That doesn't mean that women with curves and big boobs don't exist. That's like, it's so trying to be inclusive, it's sexist. It's bonkers. How do they think that this is, like, okay to put up articles like this? We're talking about fictional characters. Does it matter if they look realistic? And these characters do look realistic. There are women that look like this. There are women that have, you know, small bellies and that have curves and have boobs. You shouldn't be shaming those people because you're saying, oh, well, you know, this character, they look unrealistic, even though there are women that do in fact look like these women. I mean, it's so stupid the way that these journalists act. They think that this is what's gonna get them, you know, spot in the industry. As a woman, I'm offended over them saying these characters aren't realistic. They're talking about Sylvanas, a fucking elf! Of course she doesn't look realistic. She's not supposed to! You point me to the next fucking Lady Arwen down the street, okay? Stupid. Anyway, that's all I had to talk about. These examples of, you know, realistic women just means fat in this journalist's opinion. And I think it's fine to have characters that are bigger. I think it's fine to have, you know, characters that have more weight to them. Whatever. But what about the male characters? I don't see journalists writing articles about the unrealistic male characters in the gaming industry. What about those? I mean, there are male characters. According to these same types of journalists, most characters in video games are men. So why aren't they writing articles about them? Like, imagine a Scarlett Johansson looking at an article like this. She has a body that, by this journalist's standards, would be unrealistic. There are women who are super skinny, that are toned, that are fit, and most characters are stylized. They're not meant to just represent reality. So what does it matter if a fictional character has big boobs or a tiny waist? It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's all that I had to discuss with this topic. I will be talking about this in a video tomorrow, but wow, guys. Female video game characters. Who knew they could be so unrealistic these days? Am I right? Fucking ridiculous. That's their version of realistic. Is fat. It's like, okay, sure. Real women don't exist. Exactly. See? Real women, they don't exist. Don't exist. Not real. Stop spreading the lies, chat. Real women? Never seen one. Can't be real. Double standards, of course. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. American journalist standards of fitness, shape, and sexiness will never cease to amaze me. True. True. The writer must be fat and jealous. I don't know who the writer was. I didn't see their name on the article, actually. I'm not going to judge them, though, based on what they look like, but... I mean, if you have some, you know, self-esteem issues, talk to someone. Get some help. You don't have to, you know, make fun of fictional video game characters if you're feeling a little down in the dumps. Go and talk to a friend, a family member. I don't know, guys. We'll move on to the next topic in just a minute. Really quickly, though, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. The link is in the description. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Finally activated memberships. Members do have access to 4 new emotes. Consider donating via Streamlabs. All donations do pop up on stream. $3 or more text-to-speech activates. Join our Discord. Follow me on social media. All of that fun stuff. Thank you for coming to my self-shill talk. We'll talk about He-Man next. It's such a great, fun, entertaining, exciting conversation. Aren't you guys ready? He-Man is unrealistic until... Guys, He-Man is unrealistic. He should be canceled. Unfortunately, he already fucking has been. Whew. Who knew? Fictional characters could be so offensive. Could damage people in real life. I never thought. But, well, here we are. It's 2021. Fictional characters, they can really, really mess with you. They can really affect you. Wow. Just, wow, crazy. Should I hit the like button like Amber Heard hits things? Amber Heard likes to... She does like to hit things, but she prefers to throw things. Wine bottles, plates, cups, lawsuits. She likes to throw things. Okay. It's not about making fun of video game characters. It's about removing what men enjoy looking at. Very true. There are a lot of game journalists out there who don't want things to exist because the male gaze. Okay, sure. If you say so. Kind of, ridiculous. What about the female gaze? Guys, we need to talk about the female gaze and how terrible it has been as a woman to see other women doing something so vile and repulsive. Okay, for now on, I'm going to cancel females because the female gaze. Men should not be objectified. Men should be respected and treated, well, I mean, to new wave feminists, men should be treated like garbage. But to a real feminist, men and women should be equals. The demon gaze. Yeah. So dumb. Oh, the male gaze! Get at that! Alright, guys. Let's talk about the next topic. I've talked about He-Man a lot on the channel, so this topic's gonna be pretty brief, but I did want to read through this article because it is new, it is something different to talk about, but it's He-Man. A lot of people have been really enjoying the He-Man coverage. I've been talking about He-Man a lot just because there's been so much to it. If Kevin Smith could just shut the hell up and stop ruining this franchise and stop lying and being caught in lies, that would be great. But this is a Cosmic Book News article. He-Man fans reject Kevin Smith and Masters of the Universe Revelation. I personally have rejected it. I think that a lot of people at this point have rejected it. And I don't think it's going to stop. The show has already fallen off of Netflix's top 10 list. And when it comes to the top 10 list, I didn't expect Masters of the Universe Revelation to stay on the top 10 list for very long. No matter what you might think, an animated show like Revelation is never going to stay on the top 10 list like a Bird Box would. There's just no way to it. Not possible. There's not enough of a reach, not enough of an audience for animated shows like this where I'd say you kind of have to have nostalgia for it. They could try to draw in new fans. There's only so many new people that want to watch stuff like Revelation. But I was expecting it to stay on the top 10 list for at least a couple of weeks, maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But it says He-Man fans have overwhelmingly rejected both Kevin Smith and his woke Masters of the Universe Revelation series on Netflix, which follows it learned the show recently disappeared from the top 10 list. While Kevin Smith and the shill media attempted to downplay the negative reaction to the series from thousands and thousands of fans on Rotten Tomatoes by excusing it as review bombing, the official Netflix YouTube account happens to offer confirmation that fans aren't happy at all. I don't think necessarily when it comes to the top 10 list that it not being on the top 10 list means people don't like it. It just means there are not enough people even watching it. There's not enough people even giving it a chance. And most people are only going to watch this show once, maybe twice if they really enjoyed it. But we're not talking about a show that people are going to rewatch 10 times like I have with Dark, because it's not a complex story. Once you've watched Masters of the Universe Revelation once, you've watched it. You know what the show is. It's not like there's twists and turns and lots of small little details you need to pay attention to. It's pretty straightforward. But it says earlier today, saw Netflix post a video titled Inside the Orco vs. Scareglow Fight in Masters of the Universe Revelation, where the likes, dislikes, and comments haven't been turned off, where the dislikes and comments are overwhelmingly rejecting Kevin Smith and Revelation, as presently there are 925 dislikes to 593 likes. All of the posts on Netflix, on Twitter, on YouTube, they've all been very negative. There have been a lot of people who have not liked this show. And while, yes, I'm sure there are probably a couple people jumping on the review bomb train, just going, oh my gosh, I saw one piece of news about this show and I hate it, so I'm gonna give it a 0. There are a lot of people that genuinely didn't like it. Scrolling down, though, it says checking a video from a week ago titled Revelation Ending Explained. It has dislikes that are 5.4k to 1.3k likes. There are many, many people that are not impressed with this show, that are not impressed with Kevin Smith, and that are disappointed. If we look, there's another video that talks about Revelation in 60 seconds. It also has a significantly more amount of dislikes, 1.5k to 965 likes. It's getting ratioed everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Rotten Tomatoes, everywhere. It says fans are not happy with Kevin Smith and his He-Man series. It says, so through the Netflix YouTube channel, we have some real-world feedback about Revelation and the series, where at the least, the takeaway is that a majority of fans are not happy with the series, and even if it was a 50-50 split, that would be really bad as well. Kevin Smith has been pretty cocky about the show as he F-bombed fans and seemed to be stating reactions don't matter, that Netflix only cares about the views, but what the show dropping from the top 10 tells us is that no one is watching Revelation anymore on Netflix. I don't agree with that. Cosmic book news can be very hit or miss. I disagree with this because while yes, it is off the top 10 list, that doesn't mean that no one's watching it. It just means there aren't millions of people watching it every day. Netflix, you have to consider how many people there are subscribed, how many people are watching shows on trending. We're talking about this show not getting like 1 million views at least a day. The top 10 for Netflix, we're talking about millions of people watching it at once. Just because it's not top 10 doesn't mean that no one's watching it. It just means there is not a significant amount of people watching it. It says you may argue that means everybody watched it already, but many other shows have stayed on top 10 for weeks. I talked about that in today's video, like Manifest, but there has been a lot of social media attention around it. It says I'll also be curious to see how well the Revelation toy line sells at Mattel. I personally don't think it's going to sell very well. I think a lot of people that would have bought the toys, the action figures, any kind of merchandise aren't gonna buy it now because this show is crappy. And we're talking about a showrunner who literally F-bombed fans and told us our opinions don't fucking matter. That is shitty to do. It was shitty of Kevin Smith to do. It's shitty of Netflix to hire someone like that and for that to be their selling point. Oh, we're going for inclusivity, diversity, and fuck real nostalgic fans. Like, that's not okay. It says, and just in case Netflix does decide to disable the comments, dislikes, and likes on the video, below you can check out a sample of the reactions from the Orko video released earlier today. Lots of comments of people not being happy, a lot of people being upset. Where's He-Man? Painful to watch again. This sucks more than The Rise of Jedi. Okay. He looks like he's about to cry. Why are you calling your audience kids? It's true. It's not kids watching this. Let's be honest. Kids are not going to Netflix going, oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch Revelation. Fuck no, it's not kids. We're talking about people with nostalgia. We're talking about people that, you know, might have heard about He-Man once that don't know much about it. We're not talking about 13-year-olds going, I can't wait to sit down and watch Revelation. You are not telling me that kids on TikTok right now are watching Revelation. I'm sorry. I don't believe it for a second. They made this show for nostalgic fans, yet they're also attacking nostalgic fans at the same time, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that's all that I really had to discuss when it comes to He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation. I'm sure that there will be more news in the future to talk about when it comes to He-Man. I did make a video on a situation today, so go and watch that after the stream if you haven't already seen it. But Masters of the Universe Revelation has been a nightmare. Kevin Smith has been just a terrible person over the past couple months with this, attacking fans, not caring about what people think about his image. He only cared about making this show sell, and unfortunately for him, I don't think this show did as well as they were expecting. But I'm going to move on to the final topic in just a few minutes. Revelation is a mess. It is a disaster. It is not good. Part 2 is not something I'm looking forward to. I tried to give Part 1 a chance. I hoped that maybe it was going to be better than it was. It wasn't good. It is what it is. It's the way the cookie crumbles. You can't make a terrible show good no matter how badly I wanted this show to be good. It is not good. Season Part 2, whatever they want to call it, is not going to be good either. We already know what it's going to be about, who it's going to be focused on. It is not going to be good. Which is disappointing. But there's only so much you can change. It sucks. The danger of no one buying the He-Man toys for Revelation is that they'll be so rare they'll be worth big money in the future. Very true. That could happen, maybe. Or they literally could be worth nothing because there's no interest in them. I'm sure there'll be like one or two that'll be like pretty expensive. And then the rest probably won't be. Most women don't look like Netflix Tila, thus it's not realistic. Very true. True. Most women don't look like Tila. Unrealistic body standards. We need to cancel Netflix and Revelation. That's disgusting. How could they, you know, do that? Not realistic. So stupid. That's what Hollywood's worried about. Oh, we need realism for fictional characters that aren't even supposed to be realistic. Dumb. Watch my show. It's all about this guy. Kills off the guy. It's true. I mean, they know that He-Man is a selling point. They know if they're going to do a project with Masters of the Universe, it's got to have He-Man in some capacity. That's why I don't think they'll permanently kill He-Man off, because he is a good piece of marketing. Okay, if they had said this show is not about He-Man, they wouldn't have gotten anyone to watch it. Most men don't look like Tila. True. That is a big fact. Oof. I would never want to look like Tila. Just being honest. I would never want to have half my hair guys, half your hair shaved. That's different. Okay, that's I mean, I'll do it for like a couple $1 million if Netflix wants to pay me. But like half your head shaved, that is not a look. I'm sorry. Can we leave that in the past? It is time to move on. Ew. Even guys, I'm not trying to like shame if you have this haircut. If you like it, you go for it. Power to you. Fight the patriarchy or whoever you're fighting. But even guys with that haircut, even guys with that haircut look awful. Guys, like, I'm sorry, that's terrible. It's like, it doesn't look good. I'm sorry. I mean, if you want to look like that, you go for it. Power to you. Rock on. But like, I do not know if I've ever seen anyone with half a shaved head that has not been a fucking psychopath. Like, I'm trying to think about actors or actresses. The only one I could think of is Natalie Dormer. Because she had shaved half of her head for Hunger Games. And she's a pretty good actress. Doesn't mean it looks good, though. Truly. Terrible. I'm sorry. If you shave half of your head, you have no style. There's, like, maybe 1 or 2 women out there that look good with that hairstyle. A haircut? What's that? I mean, I agree. I mean, you're talking to me here. Okay? You guys think this is all the hair I have? Fuck no. 90% of my hair is back here because it's so long and annoying to deal with. Okay? You guys are just looking at the hair that frames my face. A haircut, I don't know what that is. I haven't had a proper haircut in years. But that's not the point. Okay? Guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna shave half my hair. What do you think? Guys, that's such a bad look. I mean, if you like it, power to you. Fight the patriarchy, or again, whoever you're fighting. You do it. But, yikes. Not for me. Yeah, this isn't Fallout character creation. True. Yikes. That, it's not a look. It's not a look. If you think it's a look, maybe go to the eye doctor first. Well, guys, thank you for being here and talking about hair. Glad we had this conversation. And before I get the comment, yes, my hair is real. Natural hair color. Real hair. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Truth. Not a lie. Well, it is my real hair, but the color is obviously natural. But alright, let's move on to the final topic of the night. Female V is offended. Well, guys, unrealistic, okay? We can't talk about female V here. That's unrealistic body standards for a character, okay? I would never support Cyberpunk. That is such unrealistic body proportions. Guys, J. Allen Brackoff fired from Blizzard. maybe when people were saying, hey, J. Allen Brack, listen, there's people at your company that are acting like disgusting pigs, he should have fired them. Or give them a stern talking. But he didn't. And now he's out. So, if you guys didn't hear, Blizzard's president is out, and now the studio will be co-led by a woman for the first time in its history. I've talked about J. Allen Brack a lot here on the channel. He is someone that I personally do not think brought much to Blizzard / the gaming industry. If you like him, good for you. But after the lawsuit, the allegations that are being made against Blizzard have come out, they basically had to throw someone under the bus. They had to throw someone into the fire, into the pit of hell, and sacrifice them. And J. Allen Brack was the person that was going to be sacrificed. So it says, on July 20th, California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Blizzard, collecting numerous company complaints about unlawful harassment, discrimination, and retaliation at the company. And shortly afterwards, more than 3,000 Activision Blizzard employees signed an open letter to management speaking up for victims and making a call for official statements that recognize the seriousness of the allegations and demonstrate compassion for the victims of harassment and assault. Now, I've talked about this in videos, but the lawsuit that is against Blizzard right now is extremely serious, okay? It really is. They are being accused of a lot of different very terrible and disgusting things. And even if 90% of what's in that lawsuit isn't true, if 10% of it is true, that is absolutely fucking terrible. And I am sure that some of what is in this lawsuit is real. But I raise the question, how much of it is blown out of proportion? When you do that, it can seriously damage legitimate cases, and unfortunately, it happens a lot. The lawsuit sounded like it was written by a feminist frequency Anita Sarkeesian leech. It truly, genuinely did. This lawsuit started out with saying all of the men at Blizzard partook in cube crawls, in constant drinking, in sexism and toxicity. Yet, we're seeing that over 3,000 Activision Blizzard employees signed an open letter speaking up for victims. So which is it? Are there all of the male employees being fucking pieces of shit? Are all of the male employees at Blizzard trash and they're doing things like cube crawls and harassing women? Or are they signing a petition speaking up for victims? Because you can't have both. You are not going to tell me that the same people that are being accused of doing terrible things are also the ones that are signing petitions saying Blizzard is a disgusting company and allows that type of behavior. It genuinely doesn't make sense. But the types of people, the Anita Sarkeesians, the feminist frequency leeches, can now take this lawsuit and go, see, we've been saying this for years. The gaming industry is filled with all of these terrible things. But not every company is like this. This isn't 98% of the industry, but of course, some people will run with that. And the way that this lawsuit was written sounded very blown out of proportion. A lot of it truly sounded like overzealous prosecution, and I did mention this in my previous video about it, but California, where this was filed, is known for overzealous prosecution. And I fear that with that, and the way they worded things, like all the men at the company are pigs, basically, could seriously damage this, and victims, serious, legitimate victims, could end up not really getting much, because their wording in the lawsuit could have been severely blown out of proportion. I am sure some of this is real. I am sure that there are people at Activision that act like pieces of trash. It's bound to happen in every industry, in every company. There's always going to be those people. But now we have to figure out what is true and which allegations were severely blown out of proportion. Either way, Blizzard is a shit company. Blizzard has acted this way apparently for years. There have been many situations where there is evidence that Blizzard should have done more and they did nothing, which is absolutely disgusting. But I do think it's important to point out that California is known for our overzealous prosecution, and this could be a case of that. You know, if 10% of this is real, but 90% isn't real or blown out of proportion, it could damage the future for these victims. They might not get what they deserve. But it says Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick promised a rapid response, and today Blizzard has announced that J. Allen Brack is leaving his position as the president of the studio to be replaced by Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra as co-heads of the studio. Jen O'Neill has been at Blizzard since January, before which she was the studio head of Vicarious Visions. And Mike Ybarra has only been with Blizzard since 2019. That doesn't sound very good to me. They literally decided to get rid of Blizzard's president, J. Allen Brack, who's been with the company for like 15 years, to hire people that have been part of the company for 7 months, and one of them has been with the company for 2 years. Is 7 months really good enough to be a president of a company? I personally think that maybe they should have chosen someone different. But it says Brack has been named in the California lawsuit, specifically concerning how he dealt with allegations made against an employee for drinking too much and harassing female employees at company events. It's alleged Brack's punishment for this person was verbal counseling, amounted to little more than a slap on the wrist for such behavior. It says Brack was also on stage during a 2010 BlizzCon Q&A panel where the various developers' responses to a question about the over-sexualization of characters is simply embarrassing, according to PC Gamer. Today's statement says both leaders are deeply committed to all of our employees to work ahead to ensure Blizzard is the safest, most welcoming workplace possible for women and people of any gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or background, to upholding and reinforcing our values and to rebuild your trust. With their many years of industry experience and deep commitments to integrity and inclusivity, Jen and Mike will lead Blizzard with care, compassion, and a dedication to excellence, aka not gaming. We knew that someone was gonna go. There were rumors over the past 2 weeks that it was going to be J. Allen Brack because he is being accused a lot of things. His name is directly in the lawsuit, so it's not surprising that J. Allen Brack is out now. He's basically fired. They basically probably told him, you gotta go. That it is what it is. But the people they hired sound very questionable. Oh, also guys, if you didn't hear, Diablo Immortal was actually delayed today until 2022. So fun. But J. Allen Brack is gone at Blizzard now. He is donezo. He is gonzo. We'll definitely have to see how this plays out. Maybe Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra can do a good job with this company. But honestly, I just kind of think that nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to be different. I mean, maybe behind the scenes things will be slightly different, but I don't think that this attitude of fuck gamers is just going to magically stop at the company. And that's the way a lot of AAA developers work. That's the way a lot of companies, unfortunately, in the industry work now. And I don't think it's going to change. But that's all that I really had to discuss tonight, guys. We talked about J. Allen Brack, He-Man, realistic female video game characters, and we talked about Black Widow. I will stick around for a couple of minutes, so if you guys have any questions or comments to make, please feel free to put them into the chat now. But those are the topics I had to talk about. Symbolism over competence. Very true. That's the way it goes. Yeah, we ain't seeing Diablo 4 anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that basically any Blizzard game is going to be pushed back by, like, at least a year now. Which wouldn't be surprising. It really wouldn't be. Yeah, to be fair, all executives are interchangeable empty suits. It is true. Hiring a female executive is basically just a PR decision. And also for the lawsuit, when they walk in to the situation, they go, well, all the management's new, everyone at the company's new, we're committed to change, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, they are all just interchangeable suits. But a lot of people did like J. Allen Brack. I personally don't care. See you later. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Or maybe let it hit you on the way out because it sounds like you're kind of a piece of shit. But, I don't really care. Is what it is. See you later. Bye-bye. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, though, before we end in a few minutes, give the stream a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. Consider donating via Streamlabs. All donations pop up. $3 or more text-to-speech activates. Consider becoming a member. All that fun stuff. Thank you guys for being here. And I'll read chat for a few. I don't know what's going to happen with Blizzard at this point. I don't think Blizzard's just going to magically disappear. I don't think Blizzard's just going to close down. But I think that Blizzard is definitely going to have a lot of PR decisions on their hands. And I think they're going to have to do a lot to get people on their good side again. Like, actually a lot. A lot of what Vera talked about tonight boils down to hypocrisy. I've personally seen some of these women hating the male gaze, thirsting over Jason Momoa and Henry Cavill shirtless. Very true. It's very, very true. A lot of people in this world are hypocrites. It is what it is. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's just, there's only so much you can do about people that act that way. You can try to ignore them. You can acknowledge the bullshit they're spewing. Nothing's gonna change with them, though. So, anything fun happened to you this week, Vera? I didn't get anything new. I'm ready for Halloween. I'm Halloween decorating. It's August 1st. It might as well be October 1st. I ordered some Halloween candles. I'm ordering some Halloween decorations. I've been watching Soul Eater again to get my mind prepared for Halloween. It's basically October. Does that count? That's exciting. Halloween's the best time of year. StarCraft 2 is the last thing I was interested in from Blizzard. Fair enough. Rest in peace, StarCraft 2. Rest in peace, StarCraft in general. It's too early. Fuck no, it's not too early. It's basically Halloween. Okay, guys? It's basically Halloween. Okay? I mean, August 3rd, it's basically October 31st. We're only a little bit away. Spooky. Come on. Who doesn't like spooky time, though? Halloween is 2 months off. You are talking to someone who does live in the Boston area, so Halloween is kind of our thing. You know, the Halloween tours in Salem are already starting. Well, that they go all year long, but they're actually starting to ramp up again, okay? We've got some fall coffees on the way. I'm ready for pumpkin spice. I've been wearing sweaters in 85-degree weather. It's time. Summer, it's over. I've canceled it. Halloween candy. Yeah! See, guys, it's time. It's Halloween. Halloween is 2 months off. Slick, you don't gotta be a loser. You can admit that you like Halloween too, okay? You don't have to be the party pooper here. If you can have Christmas in July, you can have Halloween in August. Hell yes! See, Christopher gets it. You understand. Halloween is the best, though, I'll give you that. I always win in the end. I am a woman. I know everything. My opinions are superior. It just happens to be, you know, a perk of my gender. If Amber Heard can use her gender to her advantage, I'm gonna use my gender to my advantage. It's Halloween time, guys. I'm not ready for Hocus Pocus 2, though. Sounds like it's gonna be bullshit. Wait until they do Hocus Pocus 2. And we've got, like, Betty Miller. That's her name, right? And, like, Sarah Jessica Parker being, like, feminist witches now. Oh, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be awful. They're gonna be feminists, and then we're gonna have cats in the movie, and they're gonna be like PETA, like the cat's owner's gonna be like a PETA member, talking about, oh no, I'm giving them too many ideas. Anyway, it's gonna be a woke mess, I'm sure. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. We'll see. Woman is not a funny word anymore. Wow, woman. I like buying all the overstock at like 90% off the day after. I mean, who truly doesn't? Who doesn't? I mean, if you can't eat candy, I feel very bad for you. I can understand why you'd hate this time of year then. this time of year in August. Still 3 months away from Halloween. Barry, you don't know if it's woke unless you see it. Oh, I know it's woke. Come on now. It's safe to assume everything is going to be woke now. How is your collecting going? Collecting of what? Question mark? Just because there's a female lead in new movies doesn't mean it's woke. You really have to tell me that? Guys, oh shit. Anything with women is just woke these days. I'm so sick of it. It's always the women, right? Do you see the problem in telling that to me? I am a woman. I'm not the one you need to tell that to. I know not everything with a woman is woke. Dress as Tila for a Halloween stream. Shave half your head. Oh boy. I'm gonna need so many steroids to become Tila. It's gonna be nuts. Like, guys, all donations are gonna be going to that at that point. Like, I'm gonna need to get some gains if I want to be like Tila, because Tila is unrealistic. Tila's body type is very unrealistic. So, I don't know if I can do it. Yep, I'm a sitting woke meter. Guys, my woke meter, my woke levels over here, they're crazy. It's nuts, guys. But, alright, everyone. I am going to end this stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight and chatting. I do appreciate all the support. Thank you to the new Dark Titans. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I do believe I will be streaming Thursday again. I'm not sure what I'm going to be streaming yet, but I'll figure it out. If you didn't see today's video on He-Man, go and check it out, and I will have a new video up tomorrow on the whole female video game topic. I've got a lot to say when it comes to that, like you guys heard tonight. If you enjoyed the live stream, please make sure to give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. Please consider becoming a member of the channel. You can get access to a shiny fancy badge next to your name, and you also get some special Dark Titan emotes. We also have them in the Discord server. Not channel, the Discord server. Please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month. But with that being said, thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.